Right, so I'm in my car, about to go to work, but I've got a few minutes before I have to leave. So I'm gonna do the audio test footage vlog thing, analysis thing that we were doing this week at college. Today's the Thursday, so it's not that late after pardon me, after we recorded it, after we recorded the test footage and the audio test and everything. So what we did was we tested out different mics to see what each mic was capable of, and then also try and help us decide which mic we were going to use in our final installation. So I tested out the audio from the camera itself, just the onboard microphone, the Rode mic, the Sennheiser rifle mic, and the radio mics. I think that was it. I think so. And then also me and a couple of other mates got the chance to this looks really weird, got the chance to test out the Tascam sound recorder as well, instead of just the normal XLR packs. So yeah, that was cool. Let's start with the onboard mic. I gotta say, I think it was better quality than I thought it was going to be, because like I've never used just straight onboard mic quality before, so I thought it would be a lot worse than it actually was, but it sounds decent. I then compared it to an iPhone quality, and the iPhone's better as well, and I was a bit surprised with that, really. But yeah, that the iPhone mic then gives another dimension to it, really. I was talking to Ben, and he said about the Dictaphone app on the App Store, which then means you can change. I don't know. You can change all different settings to it, and then it enhances the sound on the iPhone even more, which is something to consider in the future, depending if some other mics aren't available to me. The Sennheiser mic we used, and we found it was very sensitive, like unbelievably sensitive, and very you have to. The sound it picks up is from a very specific direction. I mean, like, for someone who uses audio already, that's obvious, probably. But for us lot, well, definitely me personally, trying it out for the first time, it picks up what's in front of it. It doesn't get much sound from, well, really any sound from like around, and it's super sensitive as well. Like, we were picking up Henry from miles away, and I should probably upload the footage from the test as well afterwards, and maybe run this over the top or whatever. But yeah, we could pick him up from miles away, which I immediately, because I'm thinking of doing something with whispers, but I don't want the whispers to be quiet. I just want them to be whispers, if you understand what I mean. So the Sennheiser mic might be a good way to go, because that means I could pick it up quite loudly with it still being a whisper, if that makes sense. But then also I could probably up it in Audition and that, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem either way. Rode mics is the one I'm most comfortable with already. I kind of knew what they were capable of. It's good for interviews. Sometimes the wind outside can mess it up a little bit. Even with the dead cat on, I can find sometimes you can hear a tiny bit of wind sound. But with that off, I mean, you can't hear anything. Like, there's no point even using any audio from being outside. But yeah, I've got one of them myself, so I was kind of used to what they do from doing the interviews for Kingsland Football Club and things like that with all the players. So that one I was used to. I think I'll probably end up using something like that as well, to pick up audio from the people that I record, like the like on set stuff, which I might incorporate into a track in the end, because I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet, but I have a feeling I'm gonna create the visuals and the track separately and overlay them on top of each other. But then I might use some of the sounds from what I caught from the action, from the footage I filmed, and then use the audio from that to put in my track as well. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. What else have we got then? The radio mics, I found there was, the ones we got the opportunity to test out didn't have any clips on it, which made it incredibly hard to figure out how to use them properly. But I get the general idea that where they're supposed to clip, but then I think when we were using them, we had them held too close to our mouths, and there was the I think from the pops, the P's and the S's were really like you could it didn't sound. So it almost sounded like the person speaking was eating the microphone. It wasn't great. So that did put me off a little bit, especially if when I went to use them there wasn't any clips again, if you know what I mean. So I might steer clear from that at this point. I mean, it doesn't really do exactly what I want it to do anyway for this unit, so that might be a good one to experiment when I'm doing maybe a short film or something. You've got a wide camera angle and need to pick up audio from a long way away, something like that. So what else have I've done the iPhone mic, the radio mics done, onboard Rode. I think that is it. Let's talk about the XLR packs and that. So XLR pack's simple. It's just what you plug the mics into, and that's what they convert the sound to, I guess. I think that's how you'd say it. I'm not sure. But yes, so they're very effective and they work and la-di-da-da-da, and I found it quite easy to get to grips with quite quickly. I mean, you don't have to do that much. The Tascam recorder is on another level, really, isn't it? I don't think I fully understood it, for one, and I don't think I had enough time to get to grips with everything it could do. So I think that'd be more effective when I was talking to Mark, and he said if you record in a band and it can record multiple channels, I think it can record up to 4 channels, I believe. So you can record different elements of that band and then the crowd as well, maybe, for example, and get different tracks to then sort out the volume-wise if you were in post afterwards to make sure everything is audible. Does that mean hearable? But hearable's not a word. So yes, I like the what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. But when you press the button on it and it what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but where it beeps at the start and the end, so you can sync it together. That's very effective because it beeps on the camera as well. So the footage you've got syncs on there, and yeah, the beep is played on the camera's footage and on the separate sound track from the Tascam. Yes. What else was I going to say about the Tascam? Oh yeah, we didn't get the settings completely right for it, which was a bit disappointing because when we played it back, the sound quality from the Tascam recorder compared to the footage, the sound on the footage of the camera was much higher, but we'd had the Tascam turned down too low, which meant that the audio from it was a lot quieter. So even when bumping it up, it was a bit didn't really feel right. So it's a good job we tested that, really, because then I know if we're going to use it again, look out for the settings first. I mean, it's pretty obvious, and I'm a bit annoyed at myself for not checking that thoroughly the first time, but I didn't really have any idea on how to use the Tascam in the first place. But yeah, so it's definitely a very decent piece of kit. I mean, you record it onto a separate SD card as well, and it's just mental. But yeah, I love technical stuff like that. So yes, hope this has been a good audio vlog footage test thing. Yes, it was very effective couple of days at college, and I feel like I've given myself a good idea of what mics I need to use in my installation. So yeah, it worked really. The purpose of the task was achieved. So yeah, cool.